What's up, fellow collectors? Today I'm talking about the Ghost Rapid Assault Deluxe vehicle, part of the Halo Reach Series 1 line. Looks very good. I really like the Ghost vehicle, and getting the action figure or figure vehicle deluxe thing version of it I think is actually pretty good. Now take a look at it inside of the packaging. Well, kind of inside, but you can still touch it, you know, from the outside. I do wish that there was a clear plastic film here, because, you know, if you're an in-box collector, this thing's gonna get dusty and eventually the paint's gonna fade because of that dust sitting on there. So that's not really that awesome. Luckily for me, I am not an in-box collector, so I'm just gonna open this bad boy right up. On the side here, you can see what the Ghost looks like from the game. It's got a rendered picture there, you know. No driver though. Obviously, there is not a figure that comes with this to drive the vehicle. You have to provide that for your own. On the side here, you got a picture of what the Ghost looks like again. And then on the back, tells you all the things that the Ghost does, like the seat adjusts, these turrets adjust, and then you also get these little handles that adjust. That's what you would use, I guess, to steer and control the Ghost with. Then it also tells you all of the other figures that you get within the series. There's a ton of campaign and Spartan characters within the series. You know, you got a couple exclusives. You also got the other deluxe vehicle, which is the Warthog, and that thing is freaking sick, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this bad boy up and review it. Alright, I got the Ghost out of the package, and I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the build of this figure. It doesn't feel really like it's, you know, cheap plastic. It feels like it's really well put together, which is nice. You know, you do have to assemble a couple things. Basically, these little steering modules just plug in here with a little ball there. Bam! Taking a look at the detail here, you know, the paint job is really clean. It's really smooth. They really nailed the purples and blues all over here. That makes it very Ghost-like and very Covenant-like, like we see in the games. You got some Covenant symbols here and here. And the same thing on the other side. Looks really good. Underneath here, you can kind of see some machinery and all the little mechanics and stuff that the Ghost is made of. And then you got a little display screen in there, but there's nothing on it. It would have been nice if they maybe put a little screen in there or something, but, you know, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. I like the sculpting on the seat a lot. I think that looks really good. Looks very comfy, like, you know, you'd be cruising around on your Ghost and you wouldn't have any, you know, sore bums or sore backs from riding around on this thing. It'd be really nice. The paint job is really clean, but I do wish that maybe they would have put a black wash on it to make it look a little bit more dirty. You know, it's almost a little too clean, like it's fresh out of the factory, hasn't seen any battle or anything yet. And then, you know, you're going to drop it down into the Reach battlefield, and all kinds of crazy stuff's going to happen to this Ghost. It's probably going to explode into little bits of Ghost pieces everywhere. Now, there is a little bit of articulation with this Ghost. Both of these handles move 360 here. This chair actually moves back and forth, so you can actually scoot it up closer for the human characters, and then you can adjust it further back for the bigger characters like the Elites and the Brutes. You got these little flaps here that move up and down. Each one is on its individual pivot, and, you know, basically you move that down to make it look like the Ghost is accelerating, and then the more that these come up, the more, you know, kind of cruise mode that the Ghost is in. Both of these turrets here are on their own pivots. You can move this one all the way up, or you can move them both all the way up if you want, and kind of shoot at a Banshee, or you can move them straight into the front there, or you can even move them all the way down and, you know, shoot at the rocks, because no one likes rocks, especially when you step on them. It hurts. Now the Elites can ride in the Ghost. It actually fits really well for them, and I think that the Ghost is pretty much built for the Elites specifically. You know, it looks a little small in scale with the Spartans and the UNSC figures, but for the Covenant figures, it really fits right in, especially with the Elites. Now the Spartans can drive the Ghost too. That looks really good. And, you know, that's kind of a must-have for the McFarlane figures. You know, the Spartans absolutely have to be able to drive this vehicle. And the only other figure I would say is a must would be the Elites, because they use the Ghost a lot too. So, and plus it's kind of a bigger scale vehicle for the Elites anyways. So out of all the types of figures that should be able to absolutely drive this vehicle are the Elites and the Spartans. Everything else is just kind of really a bonus. Now you can also kind of squeeze the grunts in there. They don't fit in there the best, but you can get them to fit, and you know, it's really just this backpack here that kind of gets in the way. I think maybe if you use a different grunt like the Major or the Spec Ops, they might ride in it a little better because there's not as much density in their backpacks as the heavy grunts. You know, surprisingly, you can even get the UNSC Marine type figures and the troopers to ride this thing, and that is really surprising because they can't really do a whole lot because of their limited articulation in their biceps, but they actually do a very nice job of driving the Ghost. Who would have thunk, huh? Now it is pretty bulky, but I was able to get the Brutes to fit and drive the Ghost as well. You know, obviously the Brutes are really big, so it does weigh down the end of the Ghost. But it does look good, and the Brutes can ride in it, so hooray for the Brutes. Good job, you big fat fatties. So that's pretty much all I gotta say for the Ghost. Overall, it's a pretty cool vehicle. We don't see very many vehicles from the McFarlane toy line, which is always nice to have a little bit of extra, you know, dynamic with the toys. I think that's really nice. I do wish that maybe this came with a stand, like a clear base that you could actually stand this up with, because when you put a figure in there, you know, the figure's just going to end up falling over because its legs are going to be touching the ground once you stand it up, and it just kind of pretty much ruined the display of it all. So this is kind of more for kids that want to have a vehicle to play with the figures with. For the adult collectors, it's really hard to get a cool display with this vehicle because of the fact that it doesn't come with a base. So that's my only gripe, and that's the one thing I wish McFarlane would have done and put the extra step in to do that, but what can you do? You know, it only retails for about 20 bucks here, so that's actually not that bad for a vehicle. Even though it doesn't come with a figure, you know, it's still, I've still seen vehicles from other lines be a lot pricier, you know, and this Ghost I think is actually really good design, really good quality. So I think you're really getting your money's worth there. Check out my channel, guys. I got a ton of Halo stuff on there. I got a ton of other reviews, and I also collect other lines as well. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because I upload new videos every week, and I will see you guys all in the next video, and thank you all for watching.